Well, hello there, guys. Welcome. Stop putting me back in the cab. To another video. Today we're here at Peterborough on the East Coast Main Line, London to Peterborough route. We're driving from here down to London King's Cross Freight Junction. QE2 is going past us there, 91129. And we're looking at the brand new AP Class 3 T5 enhancement pack. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Peter Howarth, CB, got the door interlock lights. Got, let's call him Steve, with his trolleys here, or Yorks, as I believe that's the technical term for them is. I'm not sure these must be custom assets, right? Probably. Or rips of this asset here somehow. But looks absolutely gorgeous, as always with AP. This is a unit I was not expecting us to get at the moment. Actually, I'm going to go in the cab and set up for departure, and then we can talk a little bit about it as we get going. So, master key. Reverser forward. If these work? No. AWS reset, standard. It's interesting. That looks like one of the DSD stop override. Interesting. Nothing else really in the cab, which is a bit of a shame. Era dependent, but it would have been nice to have had some sort of radio functionality. You know, these things will have GSM on it, and the headlights. So it's going to be Control Shift D. There you go. So DSD is active. Sounds like that. Pretty standard sounds. Headlights are on. Reversal, I'll just go to neutral whilst we're stationary. There go the doors. And here comes a Central Trains 170. Just 170. I honestly thought I heard a 156 there. Interesting. Reverser goes forward. Power goes off. And away we go. So start speed here is going to be 30, so we'll go up to that and then coast for a while and just talk about the train. So yeah, the 325 is one of those strangely really popular trains within TS in my opinion. It's a bit of a go anywhere train on the UK network, which is a good thing. Obviously, as long as it's electrified, obviously. But you know, they used to do everything from Dover right the way up to Glasgow, and there's one of these has even been dragged up to Fort William, which I found quite fun. There's a lot of misinformation on the internet, but supposedly, according to the traction manual, these lights are interlock lights. So why is that one unlocked? Weird. Full power. Away we go. Oh, hello 317. 317's on the shed, 365's as well, and the 317 in LTS. LTS, I think it is. It must be LTS. So windows don't open. Do we have thrash mode? No. Interesting. Well, we'll have a look through the manual. Where have I put my phone down? This is a problem with recording videos at 11 o'clock at night. It's always a bit dark. Right. So AP325. Sorry. It sounds a lot like a 319 in all fairness, because that's what these things are. The 319s with a network cab. So you've got Royal Mail, so it comes with two liveries, Royal Mail, which is what this is, and Royal Mail Revised, which is basically this without the yellow flash. Clear the DSD. Keyboard controls, AC select, cab light on off. Cab light looks respectable. DC select, dead man's pedal. Oh, okay, so you can actually open and close do door controls manually. That's quite nice. Well, there's no point me doing it now, but that's good to know. Door release left, door release right. That's quite cool. So if you're in a parcel bay with with openings either side, you could open both sides. Headlight switch clockwise, headlight switch anti-clockwise, master key in out. So yeah, nothing really particularly special there. Staff operation. So open the doors by pressing T. Doors will be closed by the platform/terminal staff once loading is finished. Once the door lock light illuminates, you may depart. Wheel slip is the pretty standard wheel slip stuff. Neutral section functionality, that is good. So the Classic G5 will react with the neutral sections available on the West Coast Main Nova Shack route and any other routes which recreates neutral sections in the same manner. On top of this, they will also function with our own markers and signage placed in this scenario. They're available from AP/common objects folder. Cool. So you've got the dual voltage functionality, which is fair enough. Over the years, there's been a degree of mystery surrounding the blue body side lights on these units, which are often seen illuminated on the move. After consulting official documentation and online sources, the consensus appears to be that these are interlock lights for the doors, which illuminate if a door on the relevant vehicle has not been securely latched closed. When these units were pressed into service, however, it was agreed that all containers within the train would be secured on webbing straps in transit, therefore it is not considered a safety issue. If the doors were not securely closed, and as a result these lights have been ignored by rail staff ever since. So much so there is even an entry in the rulebook to this effect. To simulate this, the blue body side interlock lights will remain lit on some vehicles once the doors are closed. Each vehicle has been given a 50-50 chance of whether they'll stay lit or not, and this is recalculated every time the doors are closed. That's fair enough. Arcing pantographs. From 1 hour after sunrise to 1 hour... Oh, hello 365. To 1 hour after sunrise... From 1 hour after sunset to 1 hour after sunrise, there's moderate arcing to simulate the moisture that tends to build up on the overhead wire. That's cool. During the winter, from 1 hour to sunset, 1 hour after sunrise, there's heavy arcing. And arcing becomes more frequent as you gain speed. We can see the arcing up there now, which is alright. Whoa! Whoa! It's a bit of a shame it's not synchronized. I assume there's no way for them to do that, which is fair enough. But yes, so thoughts so far. I mean, it sounds the part. It looks the part, I guess. It's a shame we don't have a lot of the features we're used to. But yeah, how much did I pay for this? Let me remind myself. Actually, I'll check in a minute. But yes, you also got the dead variant, which is convenient. You can a tail lamp can be attached to a DPV by adding colon to DPV. Cool. Bits and bobs. So we've got the bogey cam instead, which is shift 2, then right arrow. So they do have a bogey cam, which is nice. So visual cab improvements, including high resolution button switch labels, new illuminate button gauge visuals, new TPWS unit visuals, correct power brake controller markings, and numerous other minor improvements. Functioning master key, working in-cab clock to the left of the speedometer. Fair enough. That did look familiar. This might be the 365 cab, just looking at it though. I wonder just now. No. Just had a thought there, but no, it wasn't that. Slow and fast wiper speeds. Wipers operate on AI services if it's raining. Visual alarms outside the cab if AWS or DSD is active. The visible driver automatically moves to whichever cab you're in. Oh, that was a neutral section. That's cool. I mean, we are actually above 100, so yeah, we should slow it off. That's what these things are limited to, 100. Put notch 2 and see. Notch 3. Let's do a drive by cam. Okay, there we go. So notch 3 seems to hold speed quite nicely at around 100 on AC, which is fair enough. So yes, so visible alarms, visible driver, compressor will rise in pitch when taking power, just like the real thing. Cool. 1 second delay between train passing over AWS, that's standard. Unrealistic aerofoils removed from the pantograph. Okay, so got a different pantograph on the model, that's quite cool. headlights only provide illumination before sunrise and after sunset. You see, I don't like that as a feature. I think in a situation like this, or when you go through a tunnel, it would be nice to have that illumination. So, yeah. Yeah. High quality headlight markers and taillight visuals, including the LED variant and 3G5007. Nameplates for 002, 006 and 008. 7 overhead line warning sticker variations, which is that is cool. Let's see, is this a... Let's check. That looks 3D. I'll take that. Let's sit here and watch it come through. Well, as I say, no passenger use. It's fair enough. I would have been kind of cool to have one, but I guess you're not going to see anything realistically. So logos. To change the Royal Mega logo, so numbering. Add a tail light to a DPV by adding tail light 1 to TL equals 1. To change the logo displayed on the Royal Mail livery or Royal Mail 1, add to the PMV number, which is Royal Mail English Crown and ABB, Royal Mail Scottish Crown and ABB, Royal Mail English Crown, Royal Mail Scottish Crown, and unbranded. That is. I'm not sure these are running unbranded, question mark. I'm entirely plausible I'm wrong on that. Also, nice bit of AP track actually. It's a shame that bleed hasn't been fixed yet, but it is what it is. Yes, so reversing motor whine, which is cool. When changing directions, the motors will make a distinctive high-pitched whining sound that slowly fades away over time. After one reversal, this sound activates automatically, but to enable it at the start of a scenario, add equals RW1 to the PMV number. This is mostly intended to be used if a scenario starts at a terminus. Setting up the driver's cab, and 3 scenarios. So the 1947 Doncaster RMT to Willesden PRDC, which is a good thing what we're driving. Yes, it is. 63 miles left. See, this is the thing about mail trains, is you can just, on the East Coast Main Line South, you don't drop below 100. And you can just sit there like this, 32508. You've then got Lowfell RMT to Willesden PRDC, which is Hitchin to King's Cross, which is 65 minutes somehow, in 32507. Must be a stopping mail, I guess, question mark. That's... I'm going to turn the DSD off, because I'm obviously reading at the moment whilst we drive. That must be a stopper if it's 65 minutes from Hitchin to King's Cross. And then it's 1 Sierra 4, the 1601 Willesden PRDC to Edinburgh service, which takes 70 minutes. So we're on the shortest one today at 50 minutes. And I thought, actually, this isn't a cop-out option. This is just, it looks awesome. So yeah, I will be actually modifying my my scenario packs to use the 325. So I'm working on the ECML South scenario pack that uses one of these, so that's perfect. So yeah, you can see credits to Thameslink for the sound. So these are going to be from parts fitted to a 319, but as I say, mechanically they're exceptionally similar. Yeah, and now, so yeah, but there's 2 4 cars and 1 12 car scenario, which is nice enough, I guess. And this is supposed to be in 2003. This is based around this scenario I'm driving now. But let me have a look. If I back up a level on my phone, that's how I do manuals when I'm when I'm doing a review. Look at the phone. Okay. So I honestly can't remember how much I spent, and I'm not logging into my online banking to check. No, to be honest, I'm even at this stage, I'm a little disappointed by the lack of pushy buttons over here. That would have been very nice to have had that. Yeah, I will actually have a look on Google, see if I can find a decent 325 cab image and see if they actually have GSMR. Because, I'd hate to slate AP for something that isn't realistic, for not putting in something that isn't actually there, so to speak. $9.99. You know what, $9.99 I think is perfectly reasonable for what we're getting. It's not, it's not groundbreakingly amazing, but then again, you're not paying for that. And that's the way I look at this. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with this. The one thing I always thought with this train is if you've seen Cars, there's one of the little forklifts. It just reminds me of one of those. I don't know. Being delusional, probably. But yeah, that looks alright. I mean, the visuals looks a little grainy, but who cares? I mean, no one drives trains from this perspective. So yeah, I do like the nameplates. The nameplates add a lot, in my opinion. Then you've got the Sound of Royal Mail livery, which I think some of them still wear. It does look very late 90s, that. Even now, sorry. Let's do screenshot coming through. Is this Huntingdon? It is. This is the station near the home of JT. You know, I'm going to use the light for the screenshot. This is going to be the thumbnail, I think. But yeah, you can see we're comfortably sitting at that 99.6 miles an hour. I'm just going to drop the power off for a second, let it drop to about 98, and then put the power back in. So yeah, scenario requirements, perfectly reasonable, to be completely honest. Obviously it's stuff I already own, but yeah. There's the thumbnail. Actually, the angle on that's a bit off. That is probably the thumbnail angle for me. Also, the typeface on the numbering on the front, it's. I'd love to know what font that is. It looks a bit weird, because if you compare that to. I was a second too late, but you can compare that 43113 to that. It's just different, which I guess is cool. Like I do quite regularly say, I should say. You know, it's the difference is what the RSC Railway Times. Love it. Let's see what they've got. You see, someone at knowing physicists thrill to finding superconductor. Junk artist behind the growth of sculpture. Robert Mallory, something or other. It's on the back. That'll be 10 times easier to read. You see, if I was the person responsible for this art, I would put my name up. You know what? I will ask a contact who did the artwork. If there's someone with that name at DTG, I'll be impressed. That's what I'll be. You know, I'll go this side actually. Ooh, yeah, that'll be gorgeous. Love those headlights. Mouse? Look distinctly haunted. Meow. We'll just keep March 3 in there. And obviously AP scan weather as well, which is pretty standard. To be honest, if you don't have that, why? Sorry. Yeah. I had another day and the sun stuck in my head for no apparent reason. It's one of the great things about East Coast Main Line South is you can see we're running at a speed that basically means we're about an eighth of the way down the route from sort of my conscience, because that's where we're going. And we've already driven that, and we're just going to sit at 100 until about here. I think it's where we go down at 90. Yeah, that's what makes like route learning on these things so easy. It's just completely anti-faff. email. I mean, yeah, so 325, as I say, I'm struggling because I'm not like having to do any snazzy driving here. It's just a cruise. But that's why I think I quite like doing these drives. Is, you know, I can enjoy the world going by. I don't have to focus on, you know, what's going on in the cockpit basically. Let's do what I used to do and load up Wikipedia and read that aloud. I mean, I won't make money from this video ever, so I could do worse things. Class 325. So, British Road Class 325 is a 4-car dual voltage EMU used for postal services. Whilst it bears a resemblance to the Networker series, like it is so, the Networker series of DMUs and EMUs, it's based on the Class 319. The Class 325 was a British Rail's newest unit to take over parcel workings on electrified lines. Probably one of the last EMUs BR ever bought, or made, or had made. In the early 90s, the postal sector of BR was seeking a fleet of multiple units that would be more cost effective to run than locomotive forward stock it was using. The initial proposal was to convert a number of redundant Class 307 units, which are the Mark II based ones, like a 303, that were in the process of being withdrawn from passenger service into Class 300 parcel units. Owing to the age of these units, however, it was subsequently decided to procure a fleet of new trains. These units were ordered in 1984 and given the top classification Class 350, lol, before being changed to Class 325. The 15 units were built at ABB Derby. Between 1985 and 1996, they were very similar to the Class 319 units, sharing the same traction equipment and body design, but they're fitted with the cabs of the same design as the ABB Networker family. Tops numbers are on the front of the cabs under the driver's windows in a non-standard typeface. Planted. There we go. The then corporate typeface of Royal Mail. Interesting. Actually, just trying to get a good, well-lit thumbnail. Probably about the angle I always take them at. Yeah, there we go. Bonk. See, I've not actually seen any feedback on this yet, other than, yeah, because I'm recording this at 23:10. Interestingly, I've only completed 35 achievements in TS 2020. Shows how little career scenarios I've ever done, really. Because I've got 1,500 hours in the game, which is pretty crazy, really. It's a shame they didn't do more in the cab. So I guess it's a judgment call, really, isn't it? Hang on, we'll enjoy the neutral section kicking in again. Looking for the magnets. Yeah, that's a cabbed, sorry, a AC 365. Although I can't use that as an example. 125. Yeah. I wonder what that industry is up there. Oh no, here it comes. Clunk. There we go. Power off. Power notch 3. Bye. It is Little Bartford. Little Bartford. Yeah, so it's really everything else stuff we've already discussed about them. So they generally work the east and the west coast main line. This would be the sort of swan song years of their operation because, unfortunately, Royal Mail went, trucks are cheaper than things, so yeah. So in 2003, the postal contract was withdrawn. First GB Rail Freight then gained a new contract for mail transport over Christmas 2004. The 325 returned to limited working, operating in multiple. Working with locomotive haulage also occurred again, powered by GBRF Class 87s. After a traction reshuffle, the Class 325s resumed service with their own power cars without locomotive haulage. That was a really northern own. GBR's contract expired in 2010. A new contract for RM operations. Operations? Sheesh. The responsibility for managing the 325 fleet was won by DB Schenker. I'm going to notch the audio up just a little. There we go. Oops. DB Schenker. As of June 2010, 7 trains were to be run a day between London, Warrington and Glasgow by the West Coast Main Line, with capacity to be flexible as required. The sets can be worked together with either 4, 8 or 12 car trains. In 2012, 325010, which had been damaged and was stored as a source of spares for the rest of the fleet, was disposed of by scrapping. From June 2013, DB Schenker inaugurated an additional service on the East Coast Main Line from Willesden to Lowfell, just outside from Newcastle. I was in Gateshead earlier, which is technically where Lowfell is. Yes, they are rather, they do look pretty good in my opinion. I mean, there's some really crap photos of them on Wikipedia. That is a bit rubbish, not gonna lie, boys. Although interesting, that's 2016. 2006, yeah, they still use this livery. But yeah, I think they're pretty cool. I do want to definitely have a go at making a 2010 era scenario, because see, Wagons just released that gorgeous screenshot today of the 87. That's, well, artwork on it looks complete, and I'd not be surprised if it wasn't the next AP release. Because I think it'll probably be released through them again, because AP will do all the sound and setup for it, but artwork's complete, which is fair dues. Just drinking some Vimto because nothing says quite. I wish I was back in my early teens again. Sandy. We are due to pass Sandy at, we're a minute down. Minute and a half down. I'm actually not sure where, because we've not really done much time wastage. So yeah, you got the payload lighting, that's quite nice. Actually, that's whilst we're in here, let's have a look at that 3D5 cam. This is useful for certain stuff. See, probably on that panel there, I'm interested in seeing. That's a electrostar cam. I'm not interested in that. That's probably a 379, judging by what's quite next to it. Well, that's the mock-up at the NRM. NRM. Yeah, that'd be the NRM mock-up where they've got the. You can see that's how they tie down the pallets, so they ain't going anywhere. Yeah. That'll be tiny, I think, probably. No, that'll be rambling. It just shows as well that we are 1 Mike 19. We have the same. Technically speaking, we have priority over some of the stopping trains on this route, and all we've got down the back are some letters, which that's pretty special, I think. The fact that the railways cared that much about the post getting there, that they were willing to hold up humans over it, which is, yeah. No, that wasn't it. Yes, it was. What in the name of all that's fluffing holy? You saw that blurry. There it is. I think someone's done a boo-boo. It's a blurry that extends out into infinity. It looks like a very stretched gravel texture. I'm going to screenshot this for AP's benefit. That is a strange ass blur, because I'm going to send that to them, because I think that's a bug with their track somehow. There it is. Yeah, there is some sort of, yeah. There we go, I'll send that to them. It's a bit late for horns usage, but meh. See, what I'll do is actually, I'm going to go quiet myself, I'll mute my mic, and I'll just turn the desktop audio right up, and I'll end the, just to give you guys an idea of what the audio sounds like, and I'll end that when I go back in the cab, okay? There we go. Chop that a bit too far back, that's very nice. So yes, that is, it's a 325. Yeah, I think it sounds awesome. I'm just running out of things to talk about, and still got 40 miles to run. Although it's going to take us 20 minutes because... Nah, that can't be right. 40 miles, so if it's going to take us 20 minutes to cover 40 miles, 40 times 3, 120 miles an hour is going to be the average speed. Yeah, that's right, because... well... 23, yeah, it's a bit inaccurate, I guess. It's 35 miles. Hang on, I'll wait until it's exactly 20 minutes. I'll calculate it then. So the average speed is going to drop as we get closer, but who cares? I'm taking this way too seriously, aren't I? But yes, this is a cracking little scenario. Out of interest, Mr. Thompson released his first clip video yet. No, I'm literally just looking at it on the phone. He hasn't, interestingly. Which is entirely fair enough. He's usually pretty quick on the draw. Sometimes he can get it out sort of at the release point, which is... Just turn that speed off, going a bit quick again. This is, I've really enjoyed this route because I think it really encapsulates the feeling of going down here IRL. So see, last time I was down here was last summer when I was coming back from Kent. And it feels right. It feels like those memories in a really weird way. And yeah, I still remember I was eating a tagliatelle. Because what I did is my delivery guy was like, and I was planning to have food in London, but obviously wasn't going to have time because of the knock-on. So I had to go to the co-op, or I went to the co-op I should say, and bought a tagliatelle, microwaved it, threw it in a Tupperware container, and then sat and ate it on the train as I was going, and I was, I found that incredibly relaxing. So I'd had a very stressful day packing my room up. I did sort of big chunks of it the night before, but I would say 50-ish% of it was still left to do on the day, and my delivery guy was coming before 3. So I was up at like 6, cleaning and doing stuff. Ooh. So that is what these replaced. Mark 1 BGs. Behind an SNCF liveried 90. I know that's not the SNCF. Is that SNCF? I don't think so. I think that's the Belgian one. It's a shame it's a bit too dark for a good screenshot. Oh no. But yeah, it was, yeah, and it tasted so good. And the other thing I did is I bought a Jack Daniels and Coke from the, yeah, I'm going to Coke one as well actually. And I just sat and sipped that on the train. And it was so nice. Okay, on the back of the power two's in there. I'll go notch 4 just to give us a bit of extra speed, get us up to about 98, and then go notch 3 from there. This will be Hitchin coming through. Yeah, you see that scenario must be a stop from Hitchin because we are here and yeah, 21 minutes, well 20 minutes exactly. No, 21 minutes. We're due in there. According to this expectation. King's Cross Freight Junction 45, so 25 minutes ish, well 24. Still there. I still do a lot of reflecting on my time in the southeast. Whew, yeah, memories. I wish I could cut in, but you know what? I think the current job I have, all I'm going to say is that I work in the public sector and I do benefits administration. It's, yeah, I'm not going to say any more than that, any less. You know, important note, policies aren't mine, they're my employers. But I think, honestly, working at Dovetail, it's actually this week it was a year that I lost the job there. Yeah, it was 313. You know, you look at something and go, that looks wrong. I'm getting Letchworth, fair enough. Hey, buddy. Hey, bud. Yeah, you're a bit lost, mate. Go home. But yeah, it was, you know, sorry, going back to what I was talking about, it was, in many ways, it was a really eye-opening experience because, you know, getting to work on the game that you love and you play a lot, you know, that's pretty special. And I was working with people, you know, well, I thought Adam Lucas was my boss. He was alright. I had Matt Ped just across from me. And all these people who I'd sort of seen in developer videos and stuff, I was working with them, and that was pretty special. But I think after about 3 months of being there, it was clear to me, it was clear to them, not so much me at the time, I wasn't the right person for the job. And yeah, and I put a lot of effort in then since then into the sort of dev work and my sort of skills that I have. But yeah, but I was quite stressed. I was unhappy for being there. I was, almost in the permanent state of anxiety, really. And I'm doing the body language thing you do to pacify the nerve in the gland in your throat that relaxes you. That's how stressed this is making me. Just thinking about it, But it was great. But I wasn't the right person. I was not. I was out of my depth. That is probably the best phrase, best response to it. I was out of my depth by a long way. No, that's not a good one. Let's try it. This will be better. It's much more better lit out here. And for the first sort of couple of weeks since I wasn't there, I thought, what would I give not to be back there? But actually, not much, because I don't want to in the future, I completely believe I may be in a position to work there again. I'm not sure I'd want to, but I might be. Right now, it's just not me. The job I have now sounds really boring. In some ways, it sort of is, but I also get to really help people, and that's what that's something that gets me out of bed in the morning. That is what that's what motivates me. I'm not really motivated by sorry, I'm not really motivated just by I'm not motivated by money in my bank account. Put it that way. Money in my bank account's nice, pretty things are nice, but I've case in point, Dovetail. I was actually paid a little bit worse there than I am now. Yeah, about £200 a month less. Which, I mean, yeah. There were benefits there that really did help with Dovetail. I'll have to say that now as well. But being so I'm slightly better off financially, but that really is the obligatory Knebworth screenshot. Knebworth? No. There was a joke in there somewhere. But it just, it's not what motivates me, it's not what gets me out of bed. Money. With my current job, I had a customer who I came across who was homeless, and no one had noticed that yet. From the contacts we'd had with him, and he wasn't getting any support. And I have no prejudices in me. My sort of stance is, I will offer you support. It's down to you whether you take it. He accepted it. So I was able because I'm in a good, I'm quite good at my job. Something I'm almost hesitant to say after Dovetail, but I'm quite good at my job. So I was able to say to the manager, hey, this guy needs hands-on support. My caseload's in a good queue. My queue's in a good place. I'm going to spend the rest of today, the next 3 hours, getting them all the support I can. Ringing everyone up who I can find. And he said, yeah, okay. And actually, I'm really proud of that. That was, that was just, it's difficult to put it's a weird one to explain, but it's not a weird one to explain, it's just, I'm actually really quite proud of the fact that I was able to help someone, quite substantially. Both short term and sort of medium term, and yeah. This is Welland North coming up on now. Yeah, it is. That was Welland North, Welland Garden City next. So we're getting into the commuter belt for London. Basically, you can see why they have DSD in these things, because you can put them in notch 3 and just leave them there. For some reason I thought F5 had the speed limit down to 2 decimal places. Although the speed you're travelling at down at 2 decimal places. Obviously it was flickering on the F3 HUD. Otherwise, if you don't know how to get that up, you just press F5, you press it twice and it gives you all those little extra numbers. Which is sort of nice to have. You press F8 in the original. Kids go free one. How many 313s went in this livery, I wonder? A couple of white ones, which is good. I mean, this livery is, he must have pulled in because his headlights are still on. That's cool. This livery is actually one of the part of the current update. Go past Welland flyovers. Fair. basically, if you head up to Welland and terminate, then you can come back. You can go over the top and down this side. It's quite nice. 317 and 365 formation driving. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Another really nice thing that I've run trains through lately is PTG's back. He's obviously he's someone who I massively respect, and when some drama happened, he stood up for me, which, yeah, that was pretty awesome. And I mean, you know, the whole route learning stuff, the driving with the hood off, he's really the person who pioneered that kind of content for YouTube. And if you look at my old sort of route learning videos, I'm pretty much impersonating him. It's like, hello there, what's this? How that guy? Yeah. I can't do his voice. His voice is so chill and so neutral. Like he's in LAX, obviously call handle now, which is mentioned, so I'm allowed to say that. And yeah, like he's the person you want on the other end of the phone. Even if he is doing a really good SWAT impression. Graceful on the surface, flapping like hell underneath. But you know what, like when you've got a call handle, that's the kind of support you want. I'm glad he's back. He's a great content creator, and he's had some issues. Well, he hasn't. No, but he's had some IT issues. That's a fair enough thing to say. I'm glad he's been able to work through them, and you know yeah. Sorry, the whole having issues thing he hasn't. Not that he's told me at least. It's just the whole IT stuff. That he mentioned again, some other mention. But yeah, it's just lovely to see him back. And I think he is. Yeah, he's the serious content creator, isn't he? He's well, I guess on a scale. There's PTG who's super serious, Quirty Afro who's serious. The Train Sim TV guys who are sort of a bit less serious. Then there's who else? Well, there's that's sort of the main ones I watch. There's Matt Ped, who's unfortunately, he hasn't streamed much lately, so I'm not sure where he sits at the moment. But he's sort of light levels of serious. He tries, but if it goes wrong, he doesn't. He's not like, right, scrap the video, start over. You know what I mean? It's like, oh well. But no, he's serious, but he doesn't take himself too seriously. That's probably a good analogy for Matt Ped. And then there's Mr. Thompson Sim, who's, I'm not sure. Again, he's quite serious. Now occasionally as well. So I'm not sure whether I stand like that or where I stand now. Sorry. Yeah. I'm rambling. Luckily, about 13 minutes left. I mean, we went through Potter's Bar 31. Did we just go through Potter's Bar? Was that Potter's Bar behind us? I think it was. Yes, it was. About a minute fast. Let's go. I keep forgetting. I see the magnets go past the cab. They're going to go past this bit. You can see the limit drops down quite rapidly at 100, and then the thing passing boundary green goes to 90. 365. There's the hundo. This is the bit I always forget. The bit between Potter's Bar and Bangs Green, I sort of imagine that as being, well, this tunnel, but you've got basically all of this bit here still. It's like 2 or 3 miles, but I just forget it exists. that Newcross Gate stuff. Yes, speaking of route learning, there are some route learning videos coming out, including one for Brighton T-Spawn. Yeah, unfortunately, there's going to be 2 videos with the same one there, which is, yeah, well, the thing is, I don't like to make the same videos as other YouTubers, because I feel like you then have only one time to watch. And now, you know, if I'm making, yeah, you know, I don't like to make, even if it's, for example, roleplay, and it's me and a friend both recording, well, you've got 2 different perspectives to watch, so that's not really the same. There's actually a roleplay video coming out as well, which is quite a fun one. A bit gory, but yeah, you need to edit it really. I do not think it's going to take us 12 minutes to cover down my famous last words. I'm not even missing anything in this, so we may just get there 3 minutes early. This is now the tunnel for Bound Screen, so okay, it's a bit, we stayed fast a bit later than I expected. Fair enough. I'm going to have a look at Bound Screen Depot. Again, one of my favourite depots. What I like about it is you can see straight into it as you come past on the train, like even, you know, like the heat, you just can't. It's all, you know, it's the angles aren't right. Okay, you see, completely forgot about this. This will be New Cross, I think. New Southgate. Yeah, New Cross Gate's on the South London lines. Dull. Hilarious. Oh dear, 95. You know what? I was right. 95 near Wilson. Not Wilson, Bound Spring. Goes to 91 up north. One of the lake services today. R2130 Leeds. And they go. Yeah. Oh, we're following him, so we might actually get delayed. What time did we leave? Thingy, Peterborough. 2052. So that train in front of us left at 2015. So it just shows, like, you know, what he's been going 40 minutes longer than us. You know, we'll have the same top speed, so it'll be a 365 probably. That's the most annoying sound. But looking over here, we've got a DVT. Hello. 26. This bit unlatched. Yeah, these were staff only doors, so it's a shame. I'd love to have got a bin in a DVT. I'm definitely going to be going for our last bash on the 91s this year. They still look really modern to me, like, yeah, I know. This livery doesn't, but, yeah. I'm very regal, though. Very regal. Regal Eagle. I've been watching a YouTuber called Legal Eagle who does basically like he's a lawyer and he explains laws without being too fancy about it. But it is actually quite interesting to watch, and to understand, you know, because you got one perspective of how a certain law works, then he actually explains how it works. So, for example, entrapment, you know, a sting operation is an entrapment. If someone then goes, you know, if, for example, I don't know, yeah, basically, yeah, I can't think of one now, but, for example, a police officer walks up to you and says, hey, do you want to buy some drugs? They can't then do you for you know, for trying to buy drugs. If, but if, you know, yeah, basically, if you don't have the intention to go and do it beforehand, so if you weren't intending to go out and buy drugs, and they, well, drugs is a weird one, because arguably you can't accidentally buy drugs, but, yeah. So yeah, we're doing pretty okay on time. You can see the speed drops down quite steeply coming up. This is all a bit weird. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to stop at... No, I'm not making that station anymore. I'm going to say I'm going to stop at thingy. It's this station, Finsbury Park, and open the doors just to see how that light changes. Another LTS 317. That train in front of us. 317 northbound. Oh dear. Yeah, frame rate dies when you get close to King's Cross. Hello 317. In your XNSE livery. It's the one we saw around the corner. So we've now got to go over the flyover to take us onto the right hand side of King's Cross, and then up Camden Road Court, which then takes on which would then take us onto the North London line, and then we'd come down the North London. At Wilson Junction we turn off and head up to Wembley, which is where the Wilson PRDC is. Which is Princess Royal Delivery Centre, I'm going to say. Basically they do a massive amount of mail sorting there. I think back in the days of, you know, mail by rail being a major thing, there'd be like trains leaving every 20 minutes. There's a really good, I forget what the name of the video, the series is now. Basically, in the early 2000s, there was a series, late 90s, early 2000s. There was basically a railway documentary series, so a bit like Country Farm but on the railways. And they did a journey where they actually went on one of the trains, and it was really cool seeing the inside of Wilson and PRDC. Oh, well, a little bit of speeding there. That'd be my only... No, I think that would be my only true speeding this video. Or like, you know, speeding basically. We'll pull up here, and we've got to pull up next to the signal for our relief driver to take over. See, that's slightly out of era, but yeah. But anyway, so my final thoughts on the AP319 is correction 325 enhancement pack. Is it worth it? Actually, yeah, I think it is. Overall, $9.99. It's worth $9.99. It's not worth like £12, £13. A little bit of disappointment with the in-cab features, but it's fair enough. I think, they're probably it'd be an nature how to keep it down, keep the cost of it down. So more people would buy it basically. But yeah, no, honestly, if you can afford it, go out and buy it. If you can't, wait for a sale. It's something, even just for the liveries, and for a decent looking and sounding 325, it's well worth it. Okie doke, well, thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.